Hi everyone. Today's video is about the factorial notation in maths, which is a very important concept both for the topic numbers and for permutations and combinations. The factorial of any number n is written as n followed by an exclamation mark. Factorial notation is a shorthand way of writing a huge multiplication expression. In simple words, n factorial is nothing but the product of all natural numbers from 1 to n. For example, 4 factorial is simply 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. In this video, we will clear all your doubts about factorials and discuss some important questions related to factorial basics so that you don't feel scared of the topic anymore. Let's begin. So first, we will discuss the values of some common factorials. 0 factorial by definition is equal to 1. Now, n factorial is all natural numbers from 1 to n multiplied together, and the count of natural numbers starts from 1. So 1 factorial is also equal to 1. 2 factorial is 1 into 2, so it has the value of 2. 3 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3, so it is equal to 6. 4 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, which is equal to 24. And if you have noticed, in 4 factorial, the product of first three natural numbers 1, 2 and 3 is hidden. 1 into 2 into 3 is 3 factorial. So 4 factorial is also equal to 3 factorial into 4. Similarly, 5 factorial is the product of first 5 natural numbers. 1 into 3, 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which is 120. 5 factorial can also be written as 4 factorial into 5. And finally, 6 factorial is the product of first 6 natural numbers. And since we already know that 5 factorial is equal to 120, we just need to multiply 5 factorial with 6 to obtain the value of 6 factorial, which is 720. Now to be frank, we hardly need to calculate the values of factorials more than 6. And this I am telling you from my decade-long experience of teaching maths. So how do we solve maths questions having larger numbers? Let me show you how so that you become fully confident in this topic. On your screen, you can see two questions that we need to solve. The first is to simplify 9 factorial over 7 factorial. Well, just remember that factorial of a larger number can always be written in terms of factorial of a smaller number. So we have to try and write 9 factorial in terms of 7 factorial. In 9 factorial, 7 factorial is hidden, isn't it? Because when we multiply numbers from 1 to 9, we have to first multiply numbers from 1 to 7, which is 7 factorial, and then multiply this 7 factorial with 8 and 9. 9 factorial is equal to 7 factorial into 8 into 9, and we can cancel 7 factorial in the numerator and denominator. So our answer is simply 8 into 9, that is 72. Second question is to simplify 10 factorial over 7 factorial 3 factorial. When we studied the topic permutations and combinations, we will see that this expression is equal to 10c3. So as we already know, we can express the factorial of a larger number in terms of factorial of a smaller number. We will not really calculate the values of 10 factorial and 7 factorial here because they are very huge and it will take a lot of our time, right? Besides, their values are not required at all for this simplification question. So what we will do is pick the larger number out of 7 factorial and 3 factorial, which is 7 factorial, and write the numerator 10 factorial in terms of 7 factorial. As we know that 10 factorial is equal to 7 factorial into 8 into 9 into 10. 7 factorial gets cancelled in the numerator and denominator, and 3 factorial is equal to 6. So we can write that value. Simplifying the numerator and denominator even further, we get the value of 10 factorial over 7 factorial 3 factorial as 120. Our third question is to simplify 6 factorial minus 5 factorial plus 4 factorial. Again, we could have used their actual values, but we don't need to, because if you look at the options, all these options are expressed either in terms of 5 factorial or in terms of 4 factorial. So it will be better if we try and write each of these numbers in terms of a smaller factorial, say 4 factorial, which is the smallest out of the three. 6 factorial can be written as 6 into 5 into 4 factorial. 5 factorial is simply 5 into 4 factorial, and 4 factorial remains as such. We can take 4 factorial common out of these three because this is ultimately a value only, right? So this expression is equal to 4 factorial into brackets 30 minus 5 plus 1, which is equal to 26 into 4 factorial. So option C is the right answer. Okay, so the next question, that is fourth question, is to find the units digit of the following expression. And we can see that there are 100 terms in this expression from 1 factorial to 100 factorial. Now for somebody who has not practiced such questions before, the very idea of calculating the value of 100 factorial can give you jitters. But guys, there is a simple trick in this question through which you can easily solve it. You don't need to calculate the values of factorials more than 4, trust me. The trick is to solving this question lies in the fact that if we sum up numbers, the units digit of the sum total depends only on the units digit of the numbers being added. So essentially, we are not concerned about the values of these factorials as such, but only in their units digit. And a very important thing that we should note here is that except the first few factorials, the rest of the factorials take a units digit of 0. So we can simply ignore factorials from 5 factorial to 100 factorial as far as the units digit is concerned, because 0 added to 0 as many times gives you 0 only. So that makes our question simple. All we have to do is add up the units digit of our first 4 factorials. 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, and 4 factorial is 24. So summing up the units digit, we get 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 4. That is 13. So the units digit is going to be 3 for this long expression. And finally, let's learn the most important application of factorials, which is counting the number of arrangements or permutations through the following question. In how many ways can we arrange the letters of the word rainbow? All 7 letters to be used exactly once. So it is clear from the question that the letters of the word rainbow are to be arranged among themselves. How many letters in all? 7. 7 colors of the rainbow and 7 letters in the word rainbow, right? So essentially, these 7 letters will occupy 7 places when they are arranged. Let's suppose these are the 7 places to be filled. Let's try filling them one by one. So the first place can be filled in 7 ways. We will use one of the letters of the word rainbow here. So let's suppose we fill the letter B here. This letter will not be used again because all letters can be used exactly once. The second place can now be filled in 6 ways. Because we filled one of the letters in the first place, we are left with 6 letters. The third place can be filled in 5 ways because we have used 2 of the letters while filling the first 2 places. So we are left with 5 letters for the third place. Similarly, the fourth place can be filled in 4 ways and so on. By the time we fill the last place, we will be left with only 1 letter, right? So by using the fundamental rule of counting, these 7 places can be filled together in 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 ways, which is the same as 7 factorial ways. Therefore, the number of ways to arrange the letters of the word rainbow is simply 7 factorial, which is equal to 5040. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you have a good enough understanding of factorials now. You don't need to be scared of this topic from now on, right? If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and do subscribe our channel for more such useful content. Good luck and take care.